doorbell at Jimmy's house. Now, when you come to my house, my doorbell sounds like this.
Hello, welcome to the People's Weekly. How did that sound, Glenn?
Sounded like, hello, welcome to the People's Weekly. Oh, well, nobody told me that. Oh.
So yeah, hopefully this week I won't mute myself out for a minute and a half while I talk about something extremely important and then come in and try to summarize it in 15 seconds. That's what we did last week. If you missed it, go back and check it out. It's a minute and 30 seconds of total silence. So yeah, I guess we got bad news for people in Los Angeles and all over, really. I mean, a lot of people know and don't know. There's this dude named Meen Green. He just died. He's I should explain for the people who don't know. He's pretty big in the weed industry in California and probably Nevada too. But he's done a lot of good for people, unlike a lot of these other weed companies or entrepreneurs that, you know, they don't really care. He cared about it. He looked at it like he was medicating people. He helped a lot of people. He gave jobs to people that couldn't get jobs. His death affected thousands upon thousands of lives. Just when you think it's ending, it still keeps going. This many people is just so upset. He started people's. He helped people get their grows and their businesses going, and if you're in LA and get weed, probably a lot of it somehow was inspired or went through him in some way or another, or somebody connected to him. So yeah, it's a big loss. It's a big tragedy. It was one of the nicest, humblest, coolest, down to earthest people. And it sucks when those ones are gone because there's so many terrible people,
Yeah, we never run out of them.
Yeah, it's the good ones. So yeah, that sucks, but I had to say something because it is a tragic loss. I think he just found out he was sick just not that long ago with cancer, and then just died pretty swiftly. So fuck cancer. That's what that's all about. Yeah. So I guess in memory of Meen Green, who's your sponsor today, Glenn?
My sponsors today, are Death Bubba and Blue Gelato.
Nice. Actually, I got a mystery sponsor today.
Ooh.
Yeah, this dude I know gave me some wax 2 weeks ago, and I forgot I had it. And then just earlier today, I said, "What is this?" And I opened it up, and I was like, "Wow!" And it's fire, man. But I don't know what it's called. I don't remember. I just know it's fire. So yeah.
That shit that works really good. That's what it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really awesome. So yeah. I guess thanks to Jason if he ever listens to this show ever. So yeah, I guess we should get started because we got started what some might call late and we call right on time.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess what's going on? Oh, go ahead. What?
I was going to say, if we're starting now, then for us, it's late. But if it's before 10 after, forget about it. We're on time.
Yeah. That's why I said some might call it late, but we call it right on time.
Well, they're wrong.
Yeah, they're wrong. They should be punished.
I think they should go talk to the Pope, and the Pope will clue them in.
Yeah, the Pope sets all our people straight. I wish he would set his priests straight. Oh, fuck that guy. Oh, was I on? Sorry.
I don't know. We're just starting to go somewhere.
Yeah, let's really go somewhere. So yeah, what's going on right now is these damn conventions with these damn political parties that people keep telling me one is so much better than the other, or it's bad in a different way, so it's still better, or whatever. Like I was listening to the radio this morning and I heard Michelle Obama's speech. I didn't know it was Michelle Obama till they said it was Michelle Obama. I mean, it sounded like her, but the first thing out of her mouth was like, y'all know I'm not into politics.
Oh, yeah.
You're at the Democratic. Now, I don't know if it was the first thing out of her mouth in her speech, but it was the first thing out of her mouth when they played the clip. And I was like, wow. You know I'm not into politics. And you're at the Democratic National Convention giving a speech about politicians.
Well, did she get lost? She thinks she's at Oprah's fucking book club then, or what?
I don't know, man. But it was just like, wow, why would you even say that? Like, just started off with a lie.
But a very patronizing lie.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a dotard orange turd, lie where he basically tells a whole race or a whole continent to fuck off. So at least it wasn't that kind of lie.
Yeah, it was a harmless little lie.
Well, to them it was, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That just tripped me out. But anyway, so they got all these people talking about how great Biden is. They even got one Republican dude up on there promising the Democratic Party that Biden will come far right enough for them. It's just puzzling. And you got people shilling for both parties. You got these racists, Trump. And you have a group of Republicans that are still probably racist pretty much, but maybe not as blatant. And they're like, not Trump, but somebody kind of like him, just not as loudmouthed and uncontrollable. And then you got the Democrats who are like somebody just like Trump, but with a whole different rhetoric that pretends not to be like Trump. So y'all need to make up your minds, because not you, Glenn, but the people, they need to make up their minds, because 4 years ago when Trump came in, they said, oh yeah, it's good because we like our racists loud and proud, so we know who they are and we could find them and, find them for whatever reasons. Then you have now you have people talking about, oh, it's better to have somebody that pretends not to be racist like Biden than Trump. Why did you flip-flop? You can't have it both ways. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, if I could venture a guess on this in one word, I would say privilege. That's how you get that kind of bipolar horseshit. Privilege.
Yeah.
I mean, I sit up here and I'm not going to talk about what's already happened. Whatever. It's history. Yeah, you guys have been pretty fucked up for a while now, but hey, everybody knows. At the end of the day, I still say people get the government they deserve. So, I think the American public has just allowed this level of blatant, narcissist, pathological criminal to be in charge, So we'll see if there's a little bit of a reality check or not. But the thing that I'm seeing right now, some of it's surprising. Some of it, I really don't understand why anything should be a surprise anymore in U.S. federal politics. But we have the new Tea Party out there, except now they're called the Q-tards. It's the same goddamn thing.
I was gonna say some of them are the old Tea Party, just rebranded.
Yep.
MAGAs too. They're all the same. Hey, speaking on this real quick, I have an announcement I'm gonna forget to make if I don't do it now. And once again, it's a local announcement for people in the Los Angeles area. There's a counter protest. There's gonna be a bunch of Nazis coming to Fee Habler. Man, I don't even know how to pronounce this park. It's a huge Trump parade coming, bringing a bunch of white nationalists at Fellhaber Hauk Park, Friday, August 21st. The people are going to meet at 4:30 p.m. and they're going to march at 5 p.m. It says, "Stay together, stay tight, wear your mask, please stop killing black people, Nazis go home." So I think it's somewhere in Tahunga again. Let me see. Yeah, Sunland, Tahunga. Yeah, Sunland this Friday. So let me spell it out. FEHLHABER/HOUK Park. Fellhaber Hauk. I don't know. I'm gonna post this picture. I'm just gonna make sure it's okay on everything we have, from Instagram to my personal stuff. And hopefully, Glenn, you can pass it around too. But I'm going to encourage everyone who can show up to show up. Please support the people. I mean, it would be nice if y'all could outnumber the Nazis, 1,000 to 1. Would that be possible? Yes, if everybody shows up, it's possible. So yeah, if you can make it, if you're in the area, if you're even close to the area and can get out there, just be safe and stick with the people and fight for what's right. Bash the facts, whatever you got to do. And remember, who the pigs is going to protect is going to be the Nazis. So be ready to get down, I guess, or protect yourselves, protect the people. Whatever y'all got to do, just be ready. Because these people are vile. But yeah, that's it. Sorry, that was a long announcement. But it was somehow related. We were talking about the QAnons and the MAGAs, Tea right? Party. Well, yeah, the evolution of the Tea Party.
The thing is, I don't know. Maybe I have a little bit longer memory than some people, or maybe it's because I'm, basically looking through the window. I'm not in the party. But I remember people like Michelle Bachmann. I'll never understand how that woman was allowed to run for and sit in the House. She's insane. She's always been insane. She's still insane, just now that she's a lot quieter. And there are people that are going to be running for the Republicans for the U.S. House that are QAnon, and they say the exact same insane shit. It's like there's a factory for these completely batshit crazy middle-class white women. This is Karen on steroids.
I mean, you have to wonder, do they really believe it, or are they just using it to gain control over a certain group of voters that will support them if they did believe it or pretended to?
Well, it's somebody behind them that thinks like that. The issue here is people like Bachmann and this other woman in Florida, I can't recall her name, who said some completely batshit crazy things the last few days. They actually believe it. And they think that it's all part of the big plan, that now somebody is paying their bills and giving them this platform. I mean, that's why you need the perfect I'm not even sure what the right word is, you know? But it's almost like a brainwash, finding it ready-made. And, oh, okay. Well, you know, I can spend this much money, and this whack job will get all these other whack jobs to all, you know, what's the database worth for those people right there? Far more than you're going to spend to get this crazy broad elected. But
Yeah, I mean,
this just keeps happening. It doesn't end. This is the thing that freaks me out about the U.S. They went through the Tea Party. Kansas destroyed. Wisconsin, Minnesota, so many states are completely fucked after that experiment. And now here it comes again. It's like nobody learned anything. That's what blows me away.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you got politicians pushing this thing. What's his name? Michael Flynn was reciting some QAnon oath on the 4th of July on camera with his family. I just think it's a useful tool. It's like religion or something. I mean, it is a religion. These people are batshit crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they demons and underground sex trafficking cults, but Trump's not involved, just the Democrats, because Trump's on the side of Jesus, of course, right? It's insane, man. It's insane. And the sick thing is, these people not that long ago, well, let me just put it like this. These people right now, if Trump was a Democrat, would be bashing him as being the most immoral, unethical, criminal, you know what I mean? But he's on their side, so we'll toss Jesus aside and bow down to Trump for now because he's going to do what we want for Jesus, right? It's really weird. It's really insane. It's a cult. No question about it. It's a cult.
And it's generated from mainstream religion, you know, and it just, every day that goes by, it makes me laugh a little more every time some American in the government talks about Iran and Saudi Arabia and the theocracy and how religion controls everything. What's the fucking difference? It's the same shit for the Republican Party in the United States.
It's all good if it's your religion running it. If it's someone else's, it's an issue. That's how they think. Like they hate, man, think about this. Democrats and Republicans, but especially the Republicans, right? Those black gangsters, the Democrats call them super predators. Republicans call them thugs and N-words or whatever, right? So they, you know, they do they beat people up to put them on gangs, savage, quote unquote. All these terrible terms they're throwing around at people. And then you have them talking crap about ISIS. ISIS is terrible terrorists. Look at their tactics. They're running cars into people. They're blowing things up. They're, you know, now flip the script. A couple decades or even 6 or 8 years later, the same people that hate that are doing the exact same things. They got gangs like the Proud Boys beating people and doing quote unquote savage things, but it's not savage anymore. It's patriotic. When the white people do it, it's patriotic. And they got Nazis with bombs that the FBI keep getting. You know what I mean? They got cats running cars into crowds of people, ISIS style attacks.
Yep.
They want a theocracy. They're doing it for the same reasons, a lot of them. If not, it's just for blatant racism. But either way, they're mimicking the things they allegedly hate. Isn't there something that says, be careful you don't become the monster you're fighting, or some quote like that? People always tell me that, you know, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm fighting this monster. I'm not gonna be anything I'm already not. But these cats, I mean, they've always been that monster, but they're blatantly mimicking it. They're mimicking their tactics, ISIS tactics. You hate these people, and you mimicking their tactics for terror. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, the bottom line is, and it's not just in the present day. I mean, you can go back through history of so-called civilization for thousands of years. When fascism is based on religious belief, it's always the same. It never changes. The only thing that changes is the language that the Holy Scripture is written in. That's the only thing that changes. Otherwise, everything else is exactly the same. Because the same demons, the same sins, the same bullshit worship works everywhere, man. That's why it's still so big.
I know,
It
oppress
works.
women, hate gay people, everything's evil and bad. They're all the same, basically. Because you know what? Because not all of them, but the main ones, they're the same because they're all based off each other.
Well, the thing is, I mean, that's kind of the way I look at it. I don't care which one of the major religions you belong to. The only thing different is the language and the scripture, the details part, stuff like that. It's all got the same stuff in it. I mean, this is kind of a fucking oddball metaphor, but this is like if you've watched WWE for more than a decade. There is nothing new. It just gets rehashed.
Yeah.
It's like Hollywood. There is nothing new.
Yep.
It's just repackaging. And that's exactly what big religion is, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's like, what color box do you buy your bullshit in? That's it. So, but it's getting extreme. Like, the volume never levels off in the United States anymore. Trump said something, I believe it was today, and of course he's off his fucking rocker with what he considers facts. But the concept of what he said about how the United States made Jerusalem the capital of Israel.
Oh, yeah. And then he said, go ahead, I'm sorry.
And yeah, he said, actually, there's a lot of Jews that aren't impressed with that. Actually, more American evangelicals like it more than Israelis.
Go figure.
So there's dominionism right out in the open. Like, can you imagine Pence in the back going, "Oh, shut him up"?
Oh, yeah. Or just putting his head down like he's giving away our plot.
Yeah. Oh, mother. Yeah.
How will I bring on the end of the world with this jerk telling everybody what we're trying to do?
And this is in a presidential campaign. This kind of shit. And ma freedoms, ma constitution. Yeah? What's it say about religion and state in the Constitution, people? Keep them as far as fucking apart as possible.
Yeah, Trump once again is saying he's going to stay in office 4 more years, and then he wants a do-over because Obama spied on him, and this 4 years didn't really count. He literally said that.
Yeah, mulligan.
Yeah. Do-over. He's an idiot.
I mean, this is what it... Now, American listeners, just consider that for a moment and think about what people around the world think when they see this. Like, you have got to be fucking kidding.
Does it go full circle from being horrified to just laughing? Like, wow.
Well, we actually laughed first.
And then realized the horror.
Yeah, and then later on we're like, holy fuck, man, this is scary. This guy's nuts. That's later.
What are your feelings on? Have you been following what's going on in these American post offices and postal centers and mailboxes?
Again, this is the one public service that is in the U.S. Constitution. For all these constitutionalists and all these good old boys that they insist, herder, founding fathers, herder. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Maybe you've heard of the fucking Pony Express?
Yeah. You know,
the number of seniors and veterans and disabled people that get their medications through the U.S. mail is a staggering amount. And this is putting so many lives at risk during a pandemic. You know, I can see why people say that they're just trying to make it worse, because this could make it worse. Now these people have to go out and get their shit. And if the pandemic is still, if the R is over 1.0, they're most at risk. Why? Because somebody wanted to fuck around with the Postal Service. This is insane.
Yeah, it really is. These people, I mean, he blatantly said many, many times, Trump I'm talking about, that if they're allowed to vote by mail, Republicans will never win again. He can't win if they vote by mail. Voting by mail is corrupt. But he votes by mail, right? All his family does, but it's only corrupt if you do it. He goes on and on and on. Then he puts DeJoy in charge of this thing, and he just starts dismantling it. Then, I think yesterday, Congress decides to actually do something, maybe, and talk to DeJoy about it 2 or 3 days from now, I think. They don't come to help the people. They don't fight for us. People just lost. They don't get no more stimulus. They cut the unemployment benefits down, everything. Cut us all off, but they're going to go fight for the post office. At least they're going to do something, maybe. And now this guy says today he's going to suspend everything. He's not going to put it back into place. He's just going to suspend it where it's at and stop what he's doing till after the election, because it might look a little weird, right?
You know what that's like? That's like the GIF you see on Twitter with the dog trying to steal something, and then somebody says the dog's name, and he stops and he freezes. And then he just puts it down and walks away. That's exactly what this is.
He's already eaten half of it. That's what this is, because we still have a bunch. If he just suspends it right now, we have mailboxes all over the country missing. We have machines for sorting removed. Yeah. I mean, sorry, the damage is done. Put them back, or it's just like a joke. Why aren't these Democrats that love their constituents so much chained around the Senate with these cats locked in until they come up with something? Like, you're not leaving, I don't know. I mean, like, you want to fight for the people, fight for the people.
Yeah.
I keep hearing about AOC didn't get this. She didn't get her due thing at the port. They shut her down, and who cares? Who the hell is she? She's the person that said abolish ICE. And then we said, yes, there might be something to this woman, even though she's a Democrat and a politician, and those are horrible people, just like the Republican politicians are. But then she says, wait. When I say abolish ICE, I don't really mean abolish ICE. I mean reform ICE. And then she says, wait. Let me just fund ICE for Trump. Let me go ahead and sign off on this. These are the people y'all worship. These are the people you think are going to save you. What are they doing for you? They're doing nothing for you but giving you lip service. She could tweet all day. She can go talk on every interview. Why isn't she chained up there with her homies on your behalf? Why isn't she doing something? Why didn't she storm that thing? And I don't know. Do something. Talking about it. Now they're at a convention talking, trying to get their guy elected. Every day I see these Democrats on YouTube videos. It's usually, I see Republicans too. It depends on, they play the commercials at the beginning of the videos. It's Stacey Abrams. What's that jackass guy's name? Chuck Schumer. One had Pelosi. They have one with Ted Cruz. They got one with Trump himself. They got some of his kids, and then they got Lindsey Graham. Those are all the different people in these videos, and they're pretty close to the same. They're like, donate now. Time's running out. We'll match with something. The Democrats are giving 3 times whatever you donate. They'll donate. We got to take back the Senate. We got to hold the Senate. It's ridiculous. You're asking a bunch of poor people you refuse to fund to give you money and donate to you? Yep. What the hell's wrong with these people? They have no shame whatsoever.
No.
It's disgusting.
But in their world, All the people sending them money are the idiots. They're just, they're just capitalizing. That's the difference.
Let me ask these little people something. I don't mean to belittle the little people, but you're little people. If you don't have a giant corporation, you're not worth millions of dollars. You're not really important. Unless it's election time, then you're important. But you're not really important. What are they doing for you? If you send them money, what are they doing for you? If you vote for them, you're just voting to keep some other guy that's a little bit worse out. It doesn't make sense. I didn't mean to sound sexist to the other person, but yeah. It's just go.
I go back to the pro wrestling, man.
You know what pro wrestling is to me? This is what I see when I watch it. Tell me if I'm right, because you're more well versed in it. I see two people come out yelling at each other nonstop, talking crap, about to get into a fight, and then they say, wait a minute, hold off, we're going to be here in 2 weeks live at this so you can watch us get down and settle this once and for all. And then they do a pay-per-view event.
And that's a pay-per-view, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the way it used to be, but I mean now, like the WWE's got their own fucking network, man. Like,
oh, okay.
They bought everything in sight. And they have almost no competition, but they do have competition. But, they're by far the big dog on the block. So, but I mean, it's the same damn thing. There's just all of a sudden, something is a huge issue. And it has to be resolved right fucking now. And then, everybody flips out, and it's a big scene, and maybe somebody gets jumped, and somebody takes off in a car, and then somebody shakes their fist, and we'll see you next week, and then they do this shit for 2 or 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden, next Sunday, it's our latest Give Us Money. So you see the last chapter. It's just become very successful with the American society. And I mean, you're talking about how much press and attention individual House representatives are getting. People like AOC. People like Rashida Tlaib. People like Ilhan Omar. There was a time when there was things like the Black Caucus. They had real power because they didn't all spout off whenever something happened they didn't like and get 30 seconds for themselves. They would all meet, they would get together, and they would come out with a statement, and then they'd read it with 40 of them standing there. So which one's got a lot more weight? Which one's got a better chance of actually making a difference? Now,
united solidarity is powerful.
Of course. But I mean, where is the Black Caucus now? You'd never hear about it. And it's gotten a lot smaller.
I think they're not needed anymore because Trump has done more for black people than any president in history. Oh, wait, wow. That's not true? What?
Who are you, Tim Shapiro?
No, I am not.
Oh, God.
I was trying to do his voice. He got that weird voice. He sounds like a cartoon character.
Oh, man. But, it's crazy. I mean, there are some young people that have an entirely different image because they are from an entirely different generation and genetic background. This is, even though this is like we're talking 4 members out of, I don't even know how many are in the fucking House. I imagine it's pretty close to 500. So, I mean, this is the kind of shit that moves the needle, that creates revenue for infotainment. Look, they're different. And then on the other side of it, you get the parties trying to find people who can play these roles because this is what's hot. Again, this is just like Hollywood recycling shit. This is just like pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And, it's, I don't know. It's just so hard to take it all seriously. But it's the government. It's your life. You know, how can you write it all off?
But I think that's intentional. It's like real stuff, really, really important stuff, surrounded with a whole circus. So you really can't see the important stuff behind the whole clowns and elephants and trapeze artists and all this stuff.
Yeah. That's true.
They're all like that. Where is everyone's telling me how great these people are. Pelosi's so great. You know what I mean? What are they doing? They're doing nothing. Someone even said on Twitter, you can pass a bill with one thing. You don't have to add a whole bunch of stupid crap into it, Just go issue by issue, one bill at a time. They're all trying to get little extra secret stuff passed for them and their homies and their donors. It's stupid, man. And it's all at our money, at our expense. Their $1 billion donors ain't paying taxes. Come on now. It's just so stupid, and we let it happen. Why isn't everyone out in the street right now going crazy? When stuff was burning, they were listening to the people. Now they're like, cool, whatever. I'm not joking.
Well, again, I don't know how much attention it actually gets in American media, but every decision that is coming out about the people who are supposedly in charge of DHS and ICE are illegitimate appointments. So they're not in charge. So, you have these agencies invading states, invading cities, basically operating under a presidential executive order, and the people directing them and responsible for them on paper don't really have those jobs. So, this is just ridiculous. And where is the outcry? This is basically federal secret police with leaders who are ineligible for the job. How much more fascist can you get?
Yeah, and the silly people think the Democrats are going to get rid of the federal secret police Trump created. They're not going to use that. They'll just disband it right away. Especially Harris. She's not a fan of cops at all. And Biden, he doesn't he would never be involved in someone calling black people super predators or any crime bills that destroy lives, would he? They're all horrible, man. It's like they give you, like you said, you want cornflakes or frosted flakes. That's real. It's disgusting, man. And it's just got to take people getting out there in the streets, shutting stuff down for how many years in a row do I got to say this? If y'all listened to me before when Obama was president or Bush was president, we'd had this done already. It's going to keep on waiting. How many more presidents are we going to go through before you say, oh, he might be right. He might be on to something here. Stupid.
And yet, how many people are hearing about Bolivia?
Nobody.
Yep. Bolivia had an extremely popular president. A coup took him out. That the Organization of American States, in other words, all the crooked colonizers in the Americas, pulled off a coup. Venezuela didn't work. Bolivia did. And now there has been a general strike for, I think it's pretty close to 30 days now. And the demonstrations are not slowing down. They want their president back. Fuck this shit.
The U.S. interfering with Bolivia is nothing new. They've been trying forever.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, man. Through 3 different presidents they've been trying that I can remember.
But the thing is, the entire country has taken the sacrifice that, no, this is too important. We're not going to tolerate this.
You know what news we're getting here? Constantly. I mean, from everything from the independent online left-wing media all the way up to the right-wing media. You're getting things like, depending on which one you get like a big story is, what's her name? Melania Trump didn't want to hold Trump's hand again. Wow. She really doesn't like him. And everyone's talking about that. It's the hugest story. And then you have Michelle Obama. How great. The greatest speech ever. Will Melania steal it? And then you have Bernie Sanders. He's all in for Biden. What a guy. I mean, it's just crap. None of these politicians are worth your time. They're not doing anything for us. Why are you talking about? You're giving them all this airtime. The Democratic National, and then we're hearing Chachi and the My Pillow guy are going to be at the Republican convention, and they're going to have the guest speakers. The highlight is going to be that man and woman in St. Louis that pulled guns on the protesters. You know, the ones that look like someone said they look like the people that give you a mission in Grand Theft Auto.
Yep.
So yeah, those are going to be some guests, you know, the speakers at the Republican National Convention. How do I know all this? But Bolivia, I don't know that much about, because they're not telling us. You have to go outside of the all U.S. news, basically.
Yeah.
Or a majority of it. I mean, I hear they like we said last week, they have entire segments on other talk show hosts, you know what I mean? Like, they'll do whole segments on Tucker Carlson. Not that his head writer's a Nazi and stuff. That's, you know, not that he's been brought up on sexual assault charges at Fox with other people. They'll talk about his show and how racist he is. Like, that's news? Tucker Carlson is racist. Let's dedicate a whole segment to it. It's just ridiculous, man. They need to focus on what's important. They need to call these politicians out. These politicians should have to do two things. One, if they're going to be able to have these corporate donors, like someone said a long time ago, they need to have patches on them like those NASCARs do, right? With every corporate donor. Everywhere they go, they should have them printed across the screen who's donating to each one. That's one. And two, every single politician, I don't care if you're Congress, Senate, President of the United States, you should make what the just above poverty line is in your city. If minimum wage is $7.25, you should make $7.25 an hour. No salary, no none of that. If you need to go get food stamps, go get food stamps. You need to live like the people you represent. How the heck is Pelosi got two $20,000 refrigerators? All this money, you know what I mean? These people get rich in office. It's sick.
Oh yeah,
it's disgusting. They need to live like us. And then, you know what? You have these people stressed out trying to pay their bills as a senator or a congressperson or whatever. I bet you our situation will be fixed real quick. Real quick. It'd be a whole new world for a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
That minimum wage would be skyrocketing. Services that, because they'd be forced to live in the worst neighborhoods or just above the worst, because that's what they're making. They want to subject people to that. They want their policies to subject people to that. Then they need to be subjected to that. Right now, they're not essential unless they're actually doing something. So when they're off, why are they getting paid? It doesn't even make sense to me.
Because they said they are essential. That's the power they have.
No, they need to make what their constituents make and not their high-end constituents. The low, just above the poverty, I mean, really, you have people living in tents. You should be making minimum wage. They should be making what a minimum wage person makes. Let them work 80, 90, 200 hours a week to try to pay all their bills because they got some lavish lifestyles right now. You know how fast things would change? Overnight.
Well, I did read something this week that if you look at it in a macroeconomic view, the way productivity has improved in the United States since, I think, the early 90s until today if the minimum wage was scaled to that, not the same, but in a similar way that shareholders are making bank, then today the minimum wage should be a little more than $22 an hour.
Yeah, I was
That's a
thinking
fair
25.
share. Yeah.
25 was what I was like, why fight for 15 when you should be fighting for 25? If you scroll through my tweets, I've said it many times over the past few years. Fight for 15, cool. Fight for 25, better. And these people they're like the defund the police people. Like, you know, I tweeted at somebody said defund the police because of something. I said, I don't want my demands to be ambiguous. I say abolish the police. Everything's a stepping stone. Why do we need stepping stones? We're here now. These people can change laws. They can sign executive. They can do anything we demand they do. They work for us. They need to realize that. They need to get out their little clouds in the sky with all their defense contract money and banker money and donor money and get with the people who, quote unquote, elected them, or get booted out. If you got to have that, you know, these Democrats and Republicans, they switch up. Their morals change depending on their candidates. Their ethics change depending on their candidates. They sell their souls for these candidates. But guess what? Us anarchists, we don't have to do that. We choose not to vote for garbage. We don't vote for fascism. So, I mean, I'm sure I don't speak for all anarchists, but for me and the way I believe, no. I have no regrets because I'm more moral than y'all, because I'm not going to vote for that garbage. You can say whatever you want, but that's the reality behind it. Why would I vote for a white supremacist, fascist, authoritarian sicko just because they smile more than the other white supremacist, fascist, authoritarian sicko? That makes no sense to me.
Well, the other thing that blows my mind is these two guys are in their 70s. Like, update, you know? Like, I'm getting to the age now where if political leaders are younger than me, yeah, okay. You know,
Glenn.
whatever. It doesn't bother me. What is with this fucking boomer hanging on garbage? Get rid of these people in power already.
You took me. I thought you were going somewhere else with this, Glenn. I thought we were going full circle. When you said those guys are both over 70, I thought you were going to say, like, let's put them in tights and let them wrestle it out. But you went the other way with it. Because I'd be all for that.
Yeah, there's only one Ric Flair. Sorry.
Oh, man. Are they going to debate? Because that's going to be, like,
oh, God.
terribly, you know, it's going to be horrifying yet hilarious, I think.
Oh, my God.
I would think both of them would want to hide from a debate. Are they going to have like a Harris Pence debate? How do people with the same views debate? Do they just pick some other stuff they don't agree with? Because like they're not going to bash wars, they're not going to bash cops, they're not going to bash the murder of black people. I mean,
they're going to bash
Harris,
each other.
Okay, yeah.
They're going to bash each other. I mean, you know, this is the other thing too. This is how things are just not the way they're supposed to be. Now, when they do have a debate for either the presidency or the vice presidency, as big a story as anything else is who's going to be asking the questions.
And do they leak somebody the questions ahead of time or not?
How the fuck did the person asking the questions become like the third leg in this chair we're setting up here? Like, who fucking cares?
Aren't presidential people asking that? They're all approved questions already, though. It's not like any real big surprise, right?
No.
Like they're not going to touch certain subjects they're already said we're not touching.
No.
Yeah, like I doubt they're going to be talking about Epstein and Trump chilling or Biden sniffing young girls and all this weird crap. Probably not going to come up.
Nope. But I mean, when you're dealing with somebody like Trump, there's always the chance that he's going to go off script and say something about Hunter Biden and Syria and Ukraine. He's going to do it. He's going to be a fucking asshole. Even if he said that he wouldn't, even if he signed a piece of paper that said he wouldn't, he still will if he wants to.
Oh yeah, Trump's far above the law in his own mind and in reality.
Oh, he just has absolutely no morals. I don't look at it from a legal perspective. I just look at it from a human perspective. He's a fucking piece of shit. Yeah. So he's capable of anything.
Wasn't he golfing when his brother died? Like, his brother's dying in the hospital and he's golfing?
Yes.
Wow. What a guy.
I think he's blown more money traveling to his own facilities to hack around a golf course than I think the previous 4 presidents combined.
But his company gets a lot of money every time he does that.
Oh yeah.
They charge for all the carts, they charge for the rooms for Secret Service, they charge for his entourage rooms. And they don't give a discount from what I understand it to be. They're charging full price. So
because they can.
But it's illegal to profit off the presidency.
Well,
Yeah, these people are devoid of morals, man. And anybody who supports them is the same. I don't care what religion you claim. I don't care what you say. You're full of crap. You can't. You can't support the same garbage that hurts so many people and say I don't support that. I just think it's the best choice. And I'm saying either choice, really. People should be up in arms. Like, why do we want the same thing in 2 different ways? We don't want this anymore. Like, they can't get past that. Every protest, people are like, we gotta vote. Don't not vote. Vote. And I'm like, don't vote, revolt. Man.
But this is all that's presented to them.
Sometimes you have to do things that aren't presented to you, like get out in the streets, tear stuff up, shut shit down, and make your point in massive numbers.
But who's going to tell them to do it?
I'm telling them right now.
Well, they're not going to do it of their own accord. They don't do anything of their own accord.
The Pope needs to put this on his broadcast so people could hear this, and then they go do it. Hint, hint.
I can see this getting played out in the square there in the Vatican. Sure.
Doesn't the Pope talk every Sunday morning or Saturday morning or whatever it is? Just play my voice saying this. That's all you got to do, Pope. And then I won't forgive you for all the crap you've done. I'll still hate you, but I'll say one nice thing about you. I'll be like, nice robe or something.
Cool hat, bro.
Yeah. Ma, you have a really big hat. I don't know, whatever.
See, that's one thing, what you're talking about how the people seem to be just so indifferent. But the other thing I'm noticing from up here is there might be a little more to it about the GOP willing to sacrifice. I said this last week, I think. The GOP will sacrifice Trump to save the Senate. Because Biden, they can work with. It's not an issue.
Oh, of course.
Because Romney, again, is getting more frequent, and every time he talks, he will get press. He knows that. Now we're getting stories about basically the Mormons are not impressed. They've had enough of Trump. And you see somebody like John Kasich standing for Biden at the DNC. These aren't isolated incidents. I mean, because
Biden's going to be as right as they need him to be.
Exactly.
And they know it. They know that. The Democrats, the only people who don't seem to know this or understand it.
But he's not Trump. That's all they're doing right now. I mean, we had an election up here in 2015, and it was anybody but Harper.
These protests are going to dwindle with Biden Harris, and they could be doing they could ramp it up a little bit. They could just keep everything same as it is now and do nothing, and the people will be like, yeah, we're not going to go out in the streets for what? Some people will be out there, but it won't be like the massive numbers you get with Trump. There's going to be a big decline. People are going to think everything's okay. We got Democrats in charge. It's not okay. It's not okay. There's still going to be children in cages. There's still going to be ICE agents snatching people off the streets. There's still going to be wars and soldiers dying all over the place for nothing but corporate gain and political BS. It's stupid. And coups. Everything's going to be the same. Protesters will be getting massive years. They will be getting locked away. But you might look at them and say, oh, maybe they deserved it. I mean, one woman on the radio the other day was disgusting. She was disgusting. She said any black person who disrespects Kamala Harris disrespects all our ancestors. She says we have to get out in the streets and defend this woman with our lives if necessary because she will be attacked. I was like, wow.
So and how much does the Harris campaign pay this woman?
It was public radio. Supposedly she's some huge leftist activist or left-wing activist or something. I don't remember the name or anything, but I remember I was just like, how disgusting is that? You're going to say that all these people's ancestors would be rolling in their graves, quote, or whatever, you know, or however she said it. She brought up the word ancestors would be so disrespected if you talk bad about Kamala Harris. You know, and then here's the thing the Democrats are saying, because they know they got crap. I hear this all the time. I see it on Twitter. I see it everywhere. We're just going to get them in, and then we're going to hold them accountable just to get rid of Trump. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, drain the swamp, yeah.
It's like, come on.
But, you know, again, this is the shit that sells as actual information. It's not. It's infotainment, and it's rhetoric, and it's pointless.
I mean, how stupid do you have to be? We're going to get Biden and Harrison, and then we're going to hold them accountable for everything they do. Why aren't you holding this fool accountable for everything he does? I mean, start now. Why wait? I don't get it. If you can't hold him accountable, what make you think you're going to hold them accountable? These people are a bunch of idiots. They just spew off whatever they hear. These parties are not the same. They're so different. I told somebody on Twitter, you know, tell somebody who's looking at 50 years or something protesting for Standing Rock after being attacked by the police that it was better then. Tell somebody that this child died by getting shot by the police unarmed that it was better then because. You know, tell some immigrant family that was locked up that it's better than because there's more people locked up now. It doesn't make sense. It's the same stuff, just done differently with a different wrapping around it. Like you said, the sugar on top of the cornflakes. It's so stupid, man. Someone else had said something about it was foolish to think that Biden and Harris have done more damage to people of color than Trump has. And I said, they've been at it so much longer. Yeah. I'm not saying if he wasn't at it that long, he might have done more damage. I don't know. But I'm saying they've been at it a lot longer, man. Like Kamala Harris, why don't people see this? I keep saying it. I think I tweeted it out again today. Kamala Harris was too busy destroying the lives, encaging, imprisoning poor black people, than locking up rich white criminals like Steve Mnuchin, the king of foreclosures. We say this all the time. They don't want to talk about that, though. Just don't disrespect your ancestors by disrespecting Kamala Harris. What's different? How is that any different than saying don't disrespect Jesus by disrespecting Trump? Yeah. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You got blue MAGA and red MAGA, and they're all vile, stupid people. I mean, yeah, the blue MAGAs don't realize how hypocritical and terrible what they support is, but the red MAGAs do, but it's still, wake up. Y'all don't want to talk about woke, woke, woke all the time. Get woke then. Pay attention. Don't support anything. You don't have to support two choices. What are you going to do? It's so ridiculous, man. It's so ridiculous.
And yet, you know, despite being right next door, it's just like a different fucking world with what your politics is right now compared to us. So
I can't fathom how they think that way. It just blows my mind. It leaves me speechless, man. They just 1 minute they stand for all this truth and justice, quote unquote, whatever, you know, and then the next minute my guy's doing it. It's not bad. You got to look past that at what it really, you know what I mean? It's good underneath. Well, why isn't the other guy good underneath? I don't know. I mean, maybe they're both good. Somebody thinks this is stupid. Neither one's good in any which way. But you're going to choose one. You're going to say, oh, I like this bad guy better than this bad guy, because he's got more pizzazz, or he doesn't act like a bad guy. He acts like a good guy, even though he's doing bad guy stuff in the background. You're still voting for the bad guy. It's dumb, stupid, blows my mind. Can't even comprehend that. The same people that said Clinton would cheat on his wife. Anyone who would cheat on his wife is not worthy of being president.
Oh, yeah.
You know what they say now? It's okay, he's changed. Or God works in mysterious ways through different kinds of people, or we can't understand what, all of a sudden a deity's involved. It's not just some guy cheating on his wife that can't be trusted as president. Their values and morals, it all changes from both sides, man. Both of them will bend over backwards to support the most vile stuff if it's their people doing it. And it disgusts me. I don't understand it. And I don't care who says what. You're terrible people. All of you. Unfollow me. I don't care. Thank you for that rant time.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. It's in the U.S., basically, nothing is getting done outside of the Oval Office because a bunch of old white fuckers don't wanna. That's it. Now, that just can't happen in our system. Not the same way. It just can't happen. However, today, the Liberal Party, who is in a minority government position, this is the way we do things, asked the Governor General to prorogue Parliament. And that means Parliament closes. Nothing happens. Everything stops. And, there's been a lot of, for a Canadian scale. I mean, what passes for a front page scandal for a week here barely makes a blip in the States.
Oh, yeah.
But the Liberals have had some issues. I know how our government works. I've looked at testimony before committee. I've looked at facts. I've looked at things. There's nothing here. This is a big fucking nothing burger, and it's trying to smear a minority government to trigger an election. But there's no popular will. Nobody wants an election. The fucking pandemic is on. So they're having a lot of license with the truth, shall we say. So supposedly one of our all-stars, our Minister of Finance, guy by the name of Bill what the hell was his name? Morneau. Bill Morneau. He is a generational rich guy. His family runs Mornell Chapeau, which is a hedge fund manager and a pension fund management outfit. The difference between the U.S., where somebody like Mnuchin can get appointed and then do whatever the fuck he wants, that's not how it works here. Mr. Morneau had to run to be a member of parliament like anybody else in the 338. His team won. He was picked to be Minister of Finance by the Prime Minister. And he can get fired from that job at any time. So there's been a lot of stink about him being rich and not paying some bills in the past, which is flimsy again, but he's kind of becoming a lightning rod because he's rich guy not paying his bills, never plays good. So now it turns out that Mr. Morneau has been offered a better job. And he quit yesterday. He just quit. I'm out of here. I'm no longer Minister of Finance. I'm resigning my seat in Parliament. Goodbye. I got a fucking plane to catch.
What? We got a rich guy never pays his bills and he became president.
Yes. But I mean, Bill Morneau has been the Minister of Finance here for 5 years. There are only 2 countries in the G20 that if you put any stock in this House of Cards methodology, for a credit rating, there are only 2 countries in the G20 that have a AAA rating, Germany and Canada. So this guy's an all-star in big money circles. So he got offered to be the commissioner for the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, which is a global game. And, you know, I'm sure when he went to Davos this year in January, I'm sure he was already pitched the job, you know, because like I said to somebody else today, the OECD doesn't send out an email that says, we're hiring. That's not how it works. So, I mean, I bet this has been going on for a long time. And now he just decided, fuck this, pull the pin, move to London, be in the private sector again, in my own environment, my own, you know, surroundings. Don't have to deal with all those idiots yelling in Parliament all the time. A good time to leave. So with this happening, Trudeau has decided to prorogue Parliament. So all the social support programs from COVID will continue. They will not expire, even if they were supposed to. And he's coming back sometime in September with a throne speech, which is like a State of the Union. And then that will go to a confidence vote. So there is an outside chance we will have an election not long after yours.
Wow.
Yeah.
But like you said, your services won't get cut until afterwards, at least September something. They gave these people $1,200. Some of them didn't even get that. And the people who can get unemployment don't even get their extra money anymore.
Yep.
And there's millions and millions of people, and they're evicting people right now.
Yep.
That's how the U.S. deals with it. You guys take care of your people. Or people are like, you're not rich, you're going to see what it's like to be really, really poor because we're going to put you out on the street.
Well, that's just it. I mean, there was a choice here. And the government we have decided that they were not going to abandon the electorate. And, you know, somebody like Bill Morneau, who is to be conservative, he is a multi-millionaire, took a look at the books and said, okay, we can afford this. I mean, Canada is going to have the largest deficit they've had since the Second World War this year. Right now, it's looking like it's over $200 billion deficit. So imagine California having a $200 billion deficit in 1 year. That would draw a lot of attention, would it not?
Oh, yeah.
You know, so this is a rich guy who's made these decisions. So it's a little different. Some Canadian rich guys aren't your prototypical rich guys. Bill Morneau understands that he has more already than he'll ever need. And he gives some of it away. And I mean, he certainly didn't have to do this for 5 years, but he did. So it's too bad the United States doesn't have rich guys like that. But then with the U.S. system, rich guys like that probably never get anywhere near politics.
Yeah, our policy in this country is some entities are too big to fail, while the rest of us are too small to help survive. That's how it works. You know, let's help the richest of the rich out. And then these are the same people talking about free market, let it decide, capitalism. Why don't you let it close down? If they can't get through, if they can't weather the storm, who cares? That's on them.
Yep.
Oh, well, let them be gone. Let somebody else move in and do it right. It's ridiculous, man.
Yep.
They do more to bail these people out. But unless you're with the post office, then right now you're kind of screwed. This is so ridiculous. This country's a joke, dude. It always has been. It's always been a laughing stock of the world. I mean, as far as I remember, I don't remember a time when other countries weren't mocking us and laughing at us here. Even before the internet, you meet people from other countries and Americans are looked at as really stupid and goofy, and then the government's looked at as tyrannical, which it is.
Well, I'm glad you made that distinction between Americans and American government.
Oh, yeah.
You know, not everybody does that. But I mean, you know, I have certainly come across my share of Americans that can fuck right off. I'll tell you that. But I've also come across Canadians like that. You know, it's human nature. Is the percentage a little higher in the U.S.? Well, I think that's certainly possible from what I've seen. But I mean, there are also people from the United States that I see almost once a year at a certain event. And, you know, some of them I've seen them for 10 years now. 10 years ago was the first time. And they're great people. You know, they're just nice people. They have morals and standards and, you know, they have class. Those are the Americans that I like to think there are more of them out there than you'd know watching media. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fractions here, right? like, what's the percentage of the people that are stuck on one party or the other? Because usually you say a third of the people are for the fascist, a third of the people are against the fascist, and a third of the people don't care. But when both sides are fascist, how does that work?
Yeah.
A third of the people are for the fascist, the red fascist. A third of the people are for the blue fascist. And a third of the people, less than a third of the people are fighting, and then some percentage of that doesn't care, right? I don't know.
Yep.
It's really weird. So, yeah, we're doomed. The more I think about it, we're doomed. If these people don't wake up, we're doomed. I don't care if the country is no more or whatever. I worry about the people. We're doomed. People are going to suffer unnecessarily for a lot longer. Someone said that, I don't know, today or yesterday, sorry. Somebody said, you realize whatever we fighting for now isn't going to be seen in our lifetimes. You know what I mean? The big win. I was like, yeah, probably not, because people suck. But go ahead.
Well, you know, with all this nonstop fucking U.S. politics, you look at what else is going on. Temperatures recorded like 56 degrees Celsius. This is like 135, 138 Fahrenheit. The last remaining ice shelf in the Canadian Arctic has collapsed. Things are warming up pretty fast. And this is with the pandemic going on and oil usage being a fraction of what it was last year. So what happens if, of course, the neoliberal existentialists insist to go back to what we were in 2019? What happens in another 4 or 5 years to the climate? There's been an inland hurricane already this year in the United States. Like, how long can people just let this happen and just don't want anybody to do anything about it? It's insane.
They still have people denying that. They got people denying the coronavirus exists, man. It's insane.
Yeah, I guess.
I see people all the time talking about, oh man, you believe that and this and that. It's not. It's like, come on, man. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it. Here's another thing I've been seeing a lot lately. Different people from one is like I don't know, maybe a socialist or maybe an anarchist. I don't know, but I seen them online talking about this. And then other people, like friends of mine and other people I talk to, I'm hearing a lot of these crazy conspiracy theories. And when I look them up, they all come from QAnon. And I always ask people, where'd you hear about this? I straighten them out as much as possible, but then they always say they heard about it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Oh, it's been on Facebook. It's been on Facebook. Because I haven't heard about this one. Or I haven't, it's really weird. It's really weird how that stuff gets out to people. And then they take it and believe it.
Well, just like the Tea Party was financed by the Koch brothers and the Atlas Network, this QAnon's got to have some money behind it. I mean, they're buying their exposure on social media. It's obvious.
Yeah, and they're selling tons of merchandise. Probably how they're funding it.
Again, sounds just like fucking wrestling.
Or the CIA or something. But, hey, they've done stuff like this before. It's nothing new for them. But it's just really weird, these conspiracy theories. And then they use hashtags and slogans that make sense. That's the scary part. Like, it'll be like, save the children, stop child sex trafficking. And then along with it is all like, Democrats are doing this demonic rituals with, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
How about stop child sex trafficking? No matter who's doing it, rich or poor, Democrat, Republican, how about just stop it? Even if it's our guys, stop it at any and all costs, because children are being hurt. And if our guy's hurting children, then screw our guy. And if their guy's hurting children, well, screw their guy. It just doesn't make sense, man. But they have it as this whole kind of ritualistic satanic cult with Hillary Clinton in robes and candles all over in the bottom of pizza restaurants, bowling. I don't know. It's really weird stuff. And then they go on with this other, like some neighbors, I don't know what happened. A white dude had a kid and a black neighbor shot the kid in the head. I don't know why. I think they arrested him. He's locked up. And I started getting that story. I saw it once or twice attached to my ACAB tweets or whatever, right? So somebody else brought it up to me, like, did you see that horrifying thing? This black dude shot this little white 5-year-old kid. And I'm like, yeah, some white dude shot some 12-year-old kid playing in a park. And all he was doing is riding his bicycle. I said, he was just playing in the park. And it goes, oh, wow, who did that? The police. And I'm like, oh, well, this was something else. This was like some black racist did it or something. I was like, a black racist, okay, whatever. So So then, then I ask them the question all the time, and they get all like, "Oh, you don't understand. I want it," because I can't answer it. I said, "What's worse?" I said, the kid that you got, they said it's tragic both ways. The kid lost their lives, but the kid you're talking about, their killer's in jail. He's not gonna hurt any more kids. He's locked up. He's gone. He's off the streets. The killer of Tamir Rice, he still, I believe he just got rehired at another police force, and he's got a gun on him.
Yep.
All they did to him was fire him. So it's like he's still on the streets. That's a big difference in my mind, but they don't seem to see it that way.
Yes, it is a big difference.
Like if you're trying to kill me but you can't get to me, I feel a lot safer than if you can. And cops generally, there's a lot of cops with a lot of murders under their belts. Driving down the street with guns. It's pretty trippy, man. Like the
Legal
other day.
bangers.
Like the other day I was filming them. A lady had a heat stroke, an older lady. And a cop standing over without a mask on his nose. He didn't have a mask on at all at first. Then I came up with a camera, he threw it on real quick. And then he had it off his nose. It's just stupid. It's like, I don't understand it, man. Why when you call an ambulance do cops have to show up with guns? Makes no sense to me. PM Beers earlier, I think today, said one of her neighbors was having a some kind of mental problem, like a breakdown or something. I guess it was public outside her window, having some kind of mental issue. I don't know what it was. She didn't explain it, but yeah, she was scared. She didn't know what to do, because if she calls 911, they're going to send cops, and that could kill this person. But what you need is an ambulance. So how do you make that happen? Yeah. How do you make medical people come without people with guns coming first that might mistake somebody having a seizure into, oh, I felt threatened, I had to kill him? Or somebody walking toward them too fast because they don't comprehend what's going on because their mind is having issues. I mean, I don't know. It just, that shouldn't happen. You shouldn't be like, I can't call the emergency number because I might end up killing somebody when they send these armed thugs out before the ambulance or fire truck or whatever.
With no training.
Yeah, like, what are they doing? They just stand there. Talk to the I seen them talking about towing a woman's car because she's having some kind of stroke or heart attack in her car. An older lady, man, like in her 70s. On her way back from church because it was Sunday morning. And her car, something happened. Oh, no, she didn't, she got sick and her car was in the, in a red zone, bus stop zone, right? Yeah. And we're out there trying to help her, and the police pull up. And they just standing there getting ready to tow her car. If the ambulance took her, they were going to tow her car. They were all giddy about that. I released that video long time ago. It was ridiculous, man. This old lady's having a mental emergency and you getting ready to tow her car. You couldn't say, hey, the keys are here, we're going to park it around the corner for you and, leave you a little note in case something happens so you know where your car is. Luckily, she was stabilized. She felt better. She was able to leave. And because we were all there with cameras talking crap, they didn't take her car. But it could have easily went the other way.
Unreal. They are a gang with badges.
They're horrible people. Horrible.
And, that's the other thing that I don't care. It just never gets said enough. There's no way this shit goes on without everybody upstairs saying whatever. Nobody fucking cares, man. The higher echelon of departments like LAPD, they think they are a state. You know what I mean? They can defend themselves. They don't fucking care.
Yeah, LA cops kill people and there's no repercussions. California cops kill people all up and down the state, no repercussions. Who can we blame for that? In LA, we can blame Garcetti and Jackie Lacey. I mean, in the past, we could blame Kamala Harris.
Yes.
She let all these cops off for murdering black people and innocent, unarmed people. Never once will I punish a cop. We could blame Gavin Newsom. We can blame everyone from the governor on down for state things. When it comes to federal issues, we start blaming from the White House on down, or from the Congress and Senate, or from the Senate on up, or whatever. It's all BS, dude. It's all BS. It's stupid, and it needs to stop. And y'all need to stop standing for stupid two-party system because your guy's a little bit better than the other guy. My guy won't kill people as fast as the other guy. The hell does that sound like?
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot 2 people a day instead of 6 people a day. Progress.
Well, yeah, because then it'll take longer till he gets around to me. This is it. That's what racism is based on. Even in the face of genocide, other people will be outed, sacrificed, given up, snitched on, so somebody else can live an extra day or an extra week. That's human nature, unfortunately. But,
yeah.
And I mean, in a society that is as dependent on the core message, with what? Oh, really? I didn't hear it. Wow, that's freaky. Holy shit. Well, that just completely threw me off.
Oh my God, I've been muted this whole time. I did it again.
No.
I swear. No. I swear. When we get toward the end of these shows, the wax kicks in more. I don't know. I think I just muted when I hit the applause thing by accident. Yeah, I think I muted myself and hit the applause. It was a stupid sound effect that popped up here because they have effects right next to chat on the Spreaker thing. But that's irrelevant. Who cares? Okay. Sorry, Glenn.
Wow. See, now I never had stuff like this happen on my show.
Yeah, I don't even know. Do people use these effects on Spreaker? I don't think I've ever heard them.
I don't know. I never used anything that they supplied me because I always thought that if I used them, it was a flag, and yeah, fuck off.
I'll tell you what, because we don't have a lot of time now, we're going to skip this. But next week, I think toward the beginning of the show, we should go through all these effects. There's like 8 or 10 of them and see what they all are. I think that would be cool.
But I'm not hearing it.
Oh, I'll send them to you in advance.
Well, you're going to have to because, we have this issue before. I don't hear the music at the beginning or nothing.
I have it set up so you can now. I just don't turn it on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we're going to have to test it out one day. That's the thing. We got to test it out one day before we go on. Because it's a lot of patching to get it to you. Unfortunately. It shouldn't be, but it is. Spreaker doesn't make it easy.
Well, the biggest problem with Spreaker is there's only one way to connect to them. And that way they limit their server usage and their bandwidth because you're the one taking all the bandwidth, not them.
Yeah.
Dicks. See, there's one good thing about Blog Talk Radio. People could Skype in, they could phone in. Blog Talk Radio took all that bandwidth.
Yeah. Yeah, if I have crappy bandwidth, the show gets jittery. We've seen that before.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So,
well,
yeah.
you know.
Anything else you want to go over before we end for the day?
Blog Talk Radio, the best technology of 1992. Spreaker, the best technology of 2006.
Whoop, there it is. So yeah, I'm gonna end this. So check out, since I'm terrible at pronouncing that park's name, check out our Twitter, Instagram, or anything like that. In the next couple of minutes, I'll have that poster up for the Nazi rally in Tahunga, where they're asking for counter protesters to come up, shut the Nazis down, and run them out. People have been attacked there. The police have attacked people. The Nazis have attacked people, and we did a whole show about it. Listen back; it's on the People's Voice about a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I'll repost that too. But definitely, if you can get out there, and I'll post all the information. But yeah, the more people, the more power, the more safe everybody is. So get out there if you can, support it if you can't. Anything else, Glenn?
No, that's it.
All right, that's it. Subscribe to our YouTube, People's Radio United, so I can stream there again. Bye.